Okay, I don't know what happened with that,
Yeah,
but okay.
yeah. I don't know why that stuff's not working correctly. Yeah. I mean, we are live. It looks like anyway. What's up, Seth? I see you. We're guaranteed one viewer at startup anyway. Huh?
You usually, yeah.
Yeah. So uh, I liked the title choice. Because I mean, what else was there to really talk about? No Kings stuff went on yesterday. That's
Which was
millions of
huge.
people went to that. Yeah, that's a good
Biggest
thing to
protest in
see. But
American history.
yeah, again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the uh, let's
The
see.
funny, the funny
Go
thing
ahead.
about it is they basically tried to threaten people last time, and it was even bigger than the first one. And then, uh, and then they, this time around, they tried to ignore it, and it was even bigger. It doesn't matter what they do at this point. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as long as they keep doing stupid thing after stupid thing, the
mm-hmm.
administration, the regime, if you will, doesn't give anybody a chance to not have it fresh on their mind because they're always either taking people's insurance or
Mm-hmm.
you know deporting brown people or starting wars in multiple countries. This week, Trump threatened to attack Cuba next, and well, he said, "Cuba, you're next,"
He
is what he
has been
said.
for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah. That that's nothing new. Um, if he means next, as in when this thing in Iran is over, then they have nothing to worry about because we're going to be stuck there for years.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Iran bombed an airbase in Iraq and destroyed several. Well, I've seen the estimate. The Midas Touch gave an estimate of $1 billion worth of aircraft. Uh, so
Mm-hmm.
you can't have insurance, but $1 billion in airplanes, no big deal. Uh, the Pentagon has, openly spoke about sending troops into Iran, ground troops in. They have thousands of troops in the area
Mm-hmm.
now, so that'll be a thing in the next couple days,
Yeah.
maybe to a week, I guess. But I'm guessing before Thursday's show, there will be troops on the ground in Iran.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Possibly, it's one of those things that he is trying his absolute damnedest to taco out of this. Rubio said a couple days ago that it would be 2 to 4 weeks. Which, if it's going to be 2 to 4 weeks, it doesn't sound like they're actually putting people on the ground. But at the same time, like, Trump's so fucking demented, he doesn't remember what was said 3 minutes ago. So,
Yeah, well, I
what?
mean, you have to also. I think that number one, anything that comes from anyone in this administration is bound to be a lie, no matter what they're talking about. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and if we think about the simple-minded fool that we have as president, and it's like, oh, oh yeah, you can say we're going to do it in a few weeks, and surprise, we'll do it next week, and he thinks that's like that makes him a military genius. Iran is ready for them, by the way,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it will be incredibly bad when this happens.
Yeah. I
And I
mean,
mean, maybe,
there
I
is
don't
a thing that somebody had pointed out on my server that um, they had gone to the No Kings protest, and they basically ran to a group of triple Trump voters who were just unbelievably furious again. Yeah, but who were just unbelievably furious again about the war, which of course they should be angry about a whole bunch of other shit, but beside the point. Um, but the fact is that this shit is not even popular among his base. It's like I would be I would be absolutely shocked if what was considered his base last year is more than 35% of what it was last year. I mean, there's so many people who are. I even know of people that either I know personally or other people know who I know personally who are like backing the hell away from Trump as fast as they possibly can. So,
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean, nothing. I don't know of any policy that is popular even among his base. I think
ICE
the
is, but that's
immigration
about it.
stuff still, yeah, still carries. You still have at least the
Yeah.
white supremacists support that, I guess. Uh, the uh, yeah, this war is incredibly unpopular though. This is
Yeah.
the least popular or the most unpopular. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the thing is it's unpopular for a couple different reasons. It's unpopular because you have the big MAGA anti-war crowd, which was huge. Because that's one of the reasons that if you were to ask people why they voted for Trump, a lot of people would say, well, he was the anti-war candidate, blah, 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 which, bullshit, but okay. Um, there's that. There's also the wing of MAGA that just despises Israel and are anti-Semites like to the core. That they're like, why the hell are we supporting anything they're doing? As long as it's not them just killing the hell out of Palestinians, like why the hell are we supporting Israel? Um, and it's not only has Trump made it obvious, but Netanyahu's made it obvious, Iran's made it obvious, everybody in the fucking world has made it obvious that the only reason we're involved in this is because Israel asked us to, and Trump is a complete and utter pushover. And just bows down and takes it from Netanyahu.
yeah.
How's that empathy
I'm
for you?
sorry. I'm looking at my screen right now, and I have a white screen with my picture on one side of it and the word "the" at the top, and that's all that's on my screen.
The.
Uh, yeah, the. So I mean, I can still see the chat and stuff behind the computer or behind the camera, so I guess that's okay. But um, yeah. So, well, let's say hi to the chat since I can see that. What's up, Tori and Seth and Resist Suppression, and that's Lil. We already know her. The Unshaw podcast. What's up,
Who the
man?
fuck's
Good to
this little
see you.
person? I thought she was all pissy
Yeah.
and shit.
Well, I mean, that's not those aren't mutually exclusive. The but yeah. I don't think that. So every week, and we talked about this some last show too, but every week Trump comes out and says we've won the war, and you know why he continues to get American soldiers hurt and killed
Mm-hmm.
because
He doesn't
that
care.
yeah
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you think he gives a fuck about the soldiers, he federally ordered flags at half mast for fucking Charlie Kirk did not do that for the soldiers who were killed in bombings over in the Middle East because of Iran. And furthermore, there's been multiple there's been a couple different reports that, and I forgot exactly who it was, and I don't want to quote anybody directly, but that basically there were 4 officers, um, 2 were women, 2 were black, or there is some combination thereof, but there were 4 officers that were in line to be 1st-star general. That Hegseth took the names off the list because, and what was reportedly said is Trump doesn't want to stand next to those people.
Yeah.
Like, what the? I mean, do you have any idea how much work it takes to get to the rank of fucking general? Like, holy shit, dude! Like, what? I fucking hate this regime so much. And
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm not like the biggest fan of the military. Like, I mean, obviously, but like, I mean, come on, dude.
I think that. All right, so having a family that a lot of people served in the military, and so I see a big difference between the military and the government, as in they don't have a say in it. Like most people join the military, and the thing they say is not to go offensively attack people for your country, but in defense of your country, right? Like, so I think that those soldiers in the military often, not to say that there aren't a lot of right-wing people in the military, because there certainly are, but I see a big difference between the two. So I'm a supporter of the individuals in the military, but not the bureaucracy that is the military, if that makes sense. Donald Trump, though, you can't look at his history and arrive at any position to where he supports those guys in any way. Though he does not care. He's called them suckers and losers in his first administration, and on and on and on.
I completely agree with you with the separation between the military and the government, because one thing. Actually, I don't think I've ever said this on the internet, but when I was in my early 20s, I was planning on going into the Marines, and I couldn't because I broke my damn hand. And it was a really nasty break. But I was planning on going into the Marines, and it wasn't because yes, I want to go fight in foreign wars. No, it's because of the whole I want to protect my country, blah blah blah, and it was good career choice and all that stuff. But, and it's I have a lot of respect for, I have a lot of respect for veterans, because, and also, you also have to think that a lot of the people who are vets, they're not coming from, usually the rich upper classes. They're not. They're coming from the kids that don't have much of an option. I know for a fact, I know at least 6 people who went into the military simply to pay for college. No, I take that back. I know more than that. But in my family, I know 6 of them that went simply so it would pay for their college. Because they wanted to go to college and couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So,
no,
and they don't really have much of a choice. They don't have a choice in necessarily what they do. They don't have to obey illegal orders, but if it's a legal order and they still don't like it, they still have to follow it. So. I give the troops. I've always said, and I've said this since the Iraq War, I support the troops. I don't support the war. There's a difference.
Well. Yeah, and the Trump administration kind of rules through fear too, because it's even whenever our congressmen have said, "Hey, you can't do this thing," or even the Supreme Court voting against a bill, he threatens to have people jailed and hung and everything else, and so those in the military are less likely to buck back against those things whenever you're constantly threatening to have people labeled as traitors and things, which is the point. The military unquestionably exploits the lack of opportunities for poor people. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
uh, I won't get into all the details, but
which is why
I
I
tried to
don't.
join the
I
military
don't.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to join the military initially to get the hell out of Ashland, Kentucky. The
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
it didn't work. um, Unfortunately, they slapped me with a felony 2 weeks out of high school, and that kind of ended that. Um, I deserved it, I guess. But anyway, that's a long time ago.
I mean, even my youngest son really wanted to go into the military when he wanted to go into um an ex of mine is a Marine vet and basically was like, you need to go into military intelligence because my son's super smart and is like, you would do great in military intelligence or in Navy intelligence. And like his asthma is so severe that they're like, yeah, no. And
That's
it's one of those
that's
things that,
actually what I was trying to go into.
and I'm eternally grateful, especially now that he's not in it.
Yeah.
But one, I like it. I think it probably would have been good for him if he did. He would have gotten his college paid for, and it's one of those things. Like the military is one of those things that there are pros and cons, and there are some really good benefits, and there are some really bad cons with it too. It just
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
it's like we say with like it's like we say with leftists and like we say with atheists, we are not a monolith. Like you can't just say the military
sure,
sucks, period, and assume that that applies to everybody across the board because it just doesn't.
sure. Yeah, no, there's a lot of nuance to it. I get it.
Yeah.
The I think that you know, it's 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 difficult because the I mean now different aspects of the military are being used against the American people, and the head of our army is a felon. John, that's actually what I was going to get to. I was told that I couldn't join the Navy
Mm-hmm.
because I was charged with the felony and was on diversion probation. I wasn't even convicted of a felony. I was told I couldn't join because of that. Now they have this orange prick is the leader
Yeah.
of the entire military, telling them to do all these illegal things, and no one seems to mind that he's a 34-time convicted felon and liable for sexual assault. Uh, Clearly stole and disseminated national security documents. I mean, tried to overthrow the government, tried to steal an election, tried to blackmail people into stealing the election
Mm-hmm.
for him. Uh, and let's not forget pedophile. like, uh,
Yeah.
and this is the leader. Like I have no faith in our legal system at all
No.
anymore. Like, if I was to go in front of a judge now, I would tell him to get fucked. Is what I would do.
Yeah.
Like literally,
I mean,
I would say like I don't you
yeah.
our court system doesn't want to hold this motherfucker accountable. I don't have anything to say to you,
Yeah.
bitch. Like that
Yeah.
that
I
that would
mean,
be
I've
my
seen. Yeah, and I mean, this is something that like I was talking. Like I was actually talking to Seth. Is like I have been I have been in a situation where I was harassed by cops for years, to the point that I
Yeah.
had to get my lawyer to be like, if you guys keep this up, we are going to sue you for fucking everything you have, because we had a ton of evidence that it was just retaliation.
Yeah.
All because the police chief's daughter wanted to search my car because she smelled marijuana, which she did not because I did not smoke. And I told her
Yeah.
no and made her wait 3 hours in the sun to get a warrant. So it was all retaliation and shit. But I have also had
Been there.
I've also had cops from the same department that, after there were some reforms and stuff, that saved my son's life. So it's
Yeah.
like, they're not a monolith.
No, that's true too. The yeah, man. I mean, now, like, obviously, since I've been off drugs and stuff for the last decade or so, things have changed a bit. But yeah,
I'll be right back.
okay. Obviously, whenever I was a bit younger, I had a lot of that kind of stuff where got pulled over every time I drove through certain places, or anytime I had an interaction with the police, I knew it was going to end with me going to jail for something. And often did. But yeah. Do you know? I was never convicted of 34 counts of fraud though. So there's that. Um, on to our pedophile president though.
I
Two
am
words,
sending
which
you. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I'm
Go ahead.
sending you something on Discord that you might want to check out, because we might want to put on the show.
Like right now.
In a little bit.
Well, I mean, like it's happening right now. Is that what, like, it's breaking news type
It's
thing?
CPAC. It's from
Okay.
CPAC.
Okay.
Which, of
Okay.
course, CPAC is in Texas, and holy shit, get the fuck out of my state.
Yeah.
Like, I am so. And here's the thing. Like, I am a lifelong Texan. I was born here. Every time I've lived anywhere else, including. And I've lived in New Mexico, and I've lived in Indiana. Hated both of them. Wanted to get out as fast as I possibly could. And now I'm itching to get the hell out of Texas as fast as I possibly can. And if
You
you
know,
can guess where I'm going, congratulations.
outside. Oh, are you moving to Kentucky?
No, that would be a fuck no.
I'm joking.
I can't.
Apparently
there was grinder issues. Apparently there was.
Yeah, I posted that on Facebook or somewhere the other day.
I think here's what I think. You know how, like, with TikTok, like in 2020, a whole bunch of people would apply for like tickets and shit to TikTok to Trump rallies, which were free, and then just never show up.
Yeah.
You remember that?
All right. So I can't play that video. Because he has. First of all, he has music playing in it, which in shorts they allow, but it'll get flagged here. But also, I mean, fuck it, who cares? Let's do it this way. We'll see what happens with it. Because I don't know about that music that's listed there. I don't know if that's going to be. It may not be a problem because they have a lot of royalty-free music for that. But it, unlike shorts and like reels and stuff, the same laws don't apply as far as copyright stuff. For some reason, I don't know why, but we'll see what it does. And if it's a problem, it'll just be the people during this get to see it, and I'll have to clip it out after the stream. Which isn't a problem. It'll do it automatically. It ain't a big deal. YouTube will take it out for me.
Hey, Jester.
What's up, Jester?
You just put a ton of mermaids in the chat, so.
Where did it go?
I do suggest we need to get me a better emoji. We need to get me something close up so you can actually see it.
Yeah, that was kind of done hastily. All right.
But I'm like not even surprised by this. So
let me see if I can. All right. I'm gonna make this full screen and cover us up for a minute,
okay.
so that people can see the captions on there.
Yeah.
A little better, anyway.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You have to put the sound. Well, if you're doing the sounds.
Did it not play the
caption.
sound on your end?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay, just a second. It still isn't playing sound, is it?
Not that I can hear it. No. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might be able to find it on YouTube real fast. Because I am surprisingly good at that. Live television, everybody. Well, not television, but.
Yeah, I shared the audio on there. I don't know why it didn't. I was sharing audio. I don't know what the problem was with it. If that doesn't work, I can go thieve it and then show it.
CPAC is like right. It's like right next to. It's not far from. It's in the Dallas area. Like, motherfucker.
What's up, Dave? Good to see you, man.
Dave!
Not Dave, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
I don't know if Dave's here or not. I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. I think I got the original video.
Okay. While you're putting that. So, I'm going to be adding another show during the week that is not a political show. Since I'm doing the art protest thing again, I'll be adding. Jess and I are gonna come back and do the spoiled ham videos that we did before, which has if for no other reason, just to get to play the intro once a week, because that intro is badass. But yeah. So We're gonna start doing that on at Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, and so yeah, check
Okay,
that
I'm
stuff
not
out.
finding it. They
Okay.
apparently haven't uploaded it. But yeah, it's basically like it's basically about them saying, "Hey, we're following Nazi policy," without them actually saying we're following Nazi policy.
You know what might be the problem on my end? Hold on. I might be able to. It might be because Discord was open. Whenever I'm streaming, if Discord's open, it screws everything up. Let me see if I can share it like this. It's still not. I guess it's not gonna play.
Sorry, Seth, we tried.
Yeah. So anyway, I can tell you just from because I haven't heard it at all, but I can tell you from looking at the screen caps, the video relates to a thing that we've talked about on here a lot. Is there the Republicans are on stage talking about deporting people that don't share their values, and
Yeah.
The poster is making the video about their values are calling them Nazis and such, which is fair, and we discussed that a little last week or last show too. So
Yeah. Um. I mean, as far as like, yeah, like, with all this, it just reminded me of something that I saw that somebody had literally said that not only should, and of course it was a MAGA person, said not only um should quote unquote illegals not vote, which they're not doing, but non-Christians shouldn't be able to vote.
yeah,
Bitch, come on. Like,
yeah,
it's one of those things they can do. And I mean, this is one of those things that I've even made a point because, like I said, maybe moving at some point, but I'm like, I have a hard deadline because I am voting. Like, I'm voting one way or fucking other. Like, it's. I vote in every single election. Like, it is that important. I don't care if it's school board, I don't care if it's dog catcher, I don't care if it's president, I vote. Because I think it's that important.
sorry. I keep switching the screen on you. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I unfortunately can't agree with that. Here in Kentucky, they don't let me vote. They've made some exceptions to it, and I thought that because if you go and look it up, it'll say like even if you're a convicted felon, you can vote in like presidential elections and things in Kentucky. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that simple anyway. You have to like apply for things and get them to approve it, and then they get to decide and dig through your shit and all that stuff, and not your literal shit. That'd be gross. The the But yeah, it's not as simple as that. I tried to go back and register because they just changed that in the last few years here, and so I don't know. They're not going to let me vote or do anything in Kentucky anymore,
I mean,
which is
Trump
fine.
can vote, but that's because the Florida legislature decided to let him vote. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's honestly, and I think this voting thing is so fucking stupid. It's like I can understand. I have some issues with it. I think it kind of depends. But I can understand if you're currently serving time or if you're on probation or something like that. Okay. But once you have served your debt to society, why can't you participate in the process? And I also heard somebody the other day say this is why they're in favor of mandatory voting. I absolutely am not. Because
No,
think of
I don't
how
think
many
so either.
people who have no goddamn idea what's going on, because, and I kind of understand that. We are political junkies. We know all this stuff. And we know this stuff better than most. But somebody who does not pay attention, there was a study done that there was like something like a 5 to 10% percentage bump for the person who was the first person on the ballot, especially like in lower races that people just didn't know who these people were because they liked their name or their name was first on the ballot. Like, I don't want people voting for people that they don't know who the hell they're voting for.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
the key to a
I mean, that's
democracy.
kind of the problem we already have, right?
Yeah, but the key to a democracy is a well-informed electorate. You have to be well-informed. And I think, frankly, if you are not well-informed, you don't need to be voting. I forgot what state it was. I want to say it was. Someone told me it was Oregon. It might have been Washington, but I could be wrong. But basically, they send out cards that say, hey, these are the positions that this candidate has on these issues. And I'm like, why the fuck can we not do that countrywide? But of course, in red states, they don't want you to do that because they just want you to think Democrats bad. Democrats are devil worshippers. Democrats bad.
Well, I think that, you know, so like, kind of like we talked about with the Save Act and all that crap, like last time, the Republicans can only win if people don't vote, or if people do vote and they're able to, like, if they were able to force every adult in the United States to vote, that would be bad for the Republican Party. They don't want that either. They want to be able to control that vote. Like, they want to be able to say, oh well,
Yeah.
they want to claim control of that vote is what that is. They don't. There's I forget the numbers. It was something like only 22% of this country would actually is a Republican, but
It wouldn't.
voter.
It's yeah, and it's one of those things. If you and this has been shown before, if you ask people if they're conservative or liberal, and I mean little c conservative, little c liberal, meaning are you simply right or left of center? It doesn't mean like if you say liberal, it doesn't mean like liberal or like it doesn't mean like corporate Democrat. It literally means anything left of center all the way to communist, right? Just little L.
Yeah.
They will almost always say conservative. But if you go issue by issue,
Yeah.
they're on the left. But what that video says there are 100 million people in this country that don't need to be here because they don't share our values. The thing is that Stephen Miller had put out a memo that got leaked that said that they need to deport 100 million people. If you think they're not going to try to deport citizens, you're out of your mind. They already have deported citizens, but wait until they start trying to deport anybody that they don't agree
Well,
with.
there's this Aliens and Sedition Act that Trump invoked here a while back that would allow them to
He tried to. It got struck down.
Yeah. Well, I don't really. I mean, yeah, that's good, and I guess that's a step in the right direction, at least for the courts or whatever. But, I mean, the fact that they're bringing it up just means that if they really want to do it, they will.
Yeah, but the thing is like even that, and even if they were to follow that, it still doesn't apply to citizens.
Yes, it does. Yes. The sedition
They,
part does, yeah.
well, the sedition part does, because I think there's that. But the thing is that's one. That's the one really. That's the one protection you have as a U.S. citizen is you can't be deported. Because where the
So
fuck are you gonna go?
so here's the thing with that, and I encourage anybody to go check this out if you want. But so there's two parts to that act, and the one that always gets quoted, and the one that they bring up whenever they talk about it is that um, you can deport these aliens during a wartime because national security reasons, essentially, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The second part of that act allows them to take anybody who is um, speaking against the government, or in this case, since they included Christianity in that, against Christianity, and to imprison them and be able to deport those people as well. Is the for sympathizing with these other countries that are invading, they say.
I mean, one thing
Yeah.
that was said was you need lots of parties in Congress, and I do not disagree with that. The problem is that the way that our system is currently set up is it's first past the post. If you have three viable parties, you're going to be hard pressed to get any of them past that post. It's like we have to change the system, um, and it's one of those things that people think. One thing I've seen over the last 10 years that's kind of pissed me off is there are people who support Trump because they're just like, fuck it, let's just burn it all down. And I'm like, that's not how this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's just not. And yeah, we do need a better voting system, but it's going to take some work to get there. And I think at the very minimum, we need to kind of get on an even keel to where the rest of the world does not think we're fucking crazy anymore. And we have to prove that we're not fucking crazy.
You know,
They were willing to forgive Trump one because they're like, okay, you guys kind of went nuts for a little bit, but okay, you got somebody at least somewhat reasonable in office, and then we don't fucking do it again, and they're just like, fuck you guys, we're done. And I can't blame them.
yeah, I mean, I think that. All right, so the people are supposed to elect representatives. Um, there needs to be more avenues for the people to easily remove those representatives when they are not representing their constituents, because the nothing that is being done, especially by the Republicans, is in any way representative of the will of the American people. This is no longer a government by the people. It may be of American citizens, I suppose, if you're, over 80 and white and male. The
I mean,
but
yeah.
we have no representation in America anymore, and the even the Democratic Party, the they the Democrat Party, there's issues, and more often than not, it's we oppose whatever the other party wants to do, whether it's whether it's the actual answer or not. It's just a party of opposition.
And and I've said this before, and I completely stole this from Ember, but yeah, the Democrats might be fucking useless, but the Republicans are actively trying to kill people.
Oh, sure. No, I agree with that completely.
So,
I mean, if
saying the two parties are equal, like, I don't buy that shit for a moment. And I've watched this shit for 25 years.
They're not equal. They're not equal in their. They're not equal in the amount of evil they're willing to impose on the American people for their own greed. Um, they're equal in that you only have the choice between the two.
Yeah.
And you know, there needs to be a remedy short of dragging congressmen out in the street and kicking the shit out of them to do their job. There needs to be an avenue that is less inflammatory, I guess, because
Yeah.
the right now, like No King's protest yesterday, you have record-breaking numbers and all these people out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that you're having these historical number of protests is because the American people who are supposed to control our government and our Congress do not, and they have no say in it. So they go out to speak out in the millions in the street, and still are largely ignored, even by what would be considered left-wing media.
Yeah, but also here's the thing that kind of gives me hope with that is like yes, these protests were the largest in U.S. history, but every fucking election that we've had in the last year, Democrats have either won by like huge margins, like the one in Texas won by like it was like 20 or 30 fucking points. Like it was huge. It was like the biggest flip that there's been in like quite some time. Or if for whatever reason they didn't win, they vastly overperformed. Like I mean, like they have lost. The Republicans have lost a good chunk of their own base. They never had the Democrats, and they've lost the vast, vast majority of independents. I actually do not know of a single independent that supports the Republicans right now, and I
Yeah.
know quite a few of them. I mean, I'm
No,
from like,
I think
I
they.
live in Texas, so like our strand of Republicanism tends to be more of the libertarian strain, and they're just like, fuck this shit. Like, if
Well,
I have to vote for the Democrats, then fine. I'm just like, okay.
so looking at it like in a statistical point of view, the the only way that Republicans are going to be able to get elected in anything but the reddest of white supremacist districts is is by shifting the window back to the left. The left needs to take this opportunity to
Yeah.
drag it as far to the left as they can, instead of fighting in the middle over issues that should be common sense things. The that we are going to see, because you have such an extremist president, we are going to see for the first time in a long time the Overton window of where where on the spectrum our representatives at least campaign um, is going to move to the left for the first time in a long time, because it continue. The Democrats have been drugged to the right over and over and over until we got to the point to where you have MAGA and this extremist movement. It's going to move back to the left. That's almost certain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Now you have this problem though, where religion has entangled itself into politics to the extent of what's Republican is also what's Christian. Like what's considered whatever the conservatives tell them is the what they should be supporting becomes a Christian thing, and you see that with these pastors, and we showed them, at the pulpit, politicizing church, which is illegal as fuck, by the way, for a 501(c)(2), but or any 501. The It's going to have. It's inevitably going to be pulled back to the left. What do the Democrats do with that? That's going to be the defining thing here. Are they able to actually run on progressive issues and represent the people who are actually on the left, or are they going to continue to just, we're against the
Yeah.
Republicans, and I look at it like this: the Republicans actively want people to vote against their own self-interest, and
Yeah.
they represent everything that is against the own self-interest of the American people at large. The Democrats don't have that. They don't want you to vote against your own self-interest, but they are so out of touch with the American people. Other than some they get a good response on social media from this and that. Social media has destroyed our government along with the money that's involved. But
Yeah.
I think that
CSF.
they have to not be useless. They have to do something
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Later, Seth. Good to see you, man.
Um. Yeah, and I mean it's one of the problems that it's against like the thing is that Democrats can and they will vote against their self-interest if that if doing so will help more people. Like for instance, I've seen a lot of people who are wealthier Democrats who are like, tax me more. Like, I can afford the taxes to help other people. That's kind of a huge difference here. But, speaking of Democrats, and this is a little bit out of left field, but this made me chuckle. There has never been a senator that has been so far underwater than Fetterman right now. He's like
Oh, I bet.
40 points underwater. And it's just like, it does not matter what the fuck he does, he is not getting a second term. And I've even seen people, I know there's some states that allow for recalls for certain things, but like, I've even seen people calling for like a national thing of like, we need to be able to have like some sort of lemon law where if we elect somebody and they change their party or they do shit like Fetterman has, that we can be like, this isn't what we voted for. We would like to get someone else in there, which I think would be totally fair.
Well, I mean, in other countries, you have votes of no confidence, right?
Yeah.
The and this is, often the leaders in European countries change because of this.
Yeah.
The No, I agree with you, and I think that uh, if Fetterman is even able to run on a Democratic ticket, like if he's even like, I don't know, like how he's even allowed to call himself a Democrat. Uh, in, you
I
know,
don't know
um,
either.
the and I mean, we have, so like here in Kentucky, we have a not unique, but a not not common situation where we can't impeach anybody, though.
No.
Is the problem, and
Oh,
the Democratic Party isn't going to do it purely because of numbers.
I there's okay. So this is what I've heard, and this is what I've heard from some people in the Democrat Party, and also a lot of people who fall under the Democrat umbrella. I am of the opinion that they need to fucking impeach him for fucking everything, just so he racks up the impeachment and has like 30 fucking impeachments. um,
Yeah.
because it's going to come down to the Senate that does it. But at the same time, like what people don't understand is like impeachment is strictly a political process. Like all they can do is get him out of office, and I think at most prevent him from running again, which he can't run again anyway. Um,
Well, it doesn't even do that. I mean, we've seen with
you
Trump.
can prevent him from running
Yeah.
again
No,
in an
that
impeachment if he's convicted.
if he's convicted, and that's the problem, because you have to have 60 votes to do that, and
Yeah,
it just, you're not going to get 60 people in the Senate to vote on fucking anything that's not a
I'm not
softball.
sure about that right now though, because there's a lot of senators who are really fucking pissed off about a bunch of the shit that's going on. And like I've said, like MAGA is fracturing like mad, and they might still be kind of publicly backing them, but you can also tell among a lot of them that a lot of them are trying to back out and trying to distance themselves, especially the ones up for re-election. And I have heard this over and over and over, is that once the primaries are done and over with, which depending on when it is, it may or may not. Usually, sometime in late May, early June, you're going to see a lot more Republicans turning on them because their primaries are over and they're the only Republican running, and it's literally they have nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, I guess we'll give you a second chance, right?
Huh?
For being Ryan said, "My bad, I'm late," and I said, "I guess we'll give you a second chance."
To be fair, it was kind of my fault. I forgot to publish this show until like an hour before.
I forgot to publish it at all, so you beat me. Twice in the last week, I forgot to put it up at all. I've been dealing with other things. I have to. No, I mean like not anything crazy. Just the like today. Whenever we wrap up, I have to then go directly to a meeting with the Tri-State Freethinkers about the art protests and.
I do want to say for anybody, I've had a lot of people ask about my mom, because people know my mom had surgery earlier this week. She is doing a shit ton better. Pretty much all the issues that she had originally gone in with are completely gone. So the surgery literally took care of everything. She had lost 80 pounds over the last 8 months. And like it was I literally had to go and buy her a pair of jeans because she did not have a pair of jeans that would not just fall off of her. It was, and it's just one of those things, watching your mom have to go through that is just horrific. But it looks like everything's fixed. So
yeah,
she's doing very good. So thank you everybody who reached out and sent well wishes, and not going to say thoughts and prayers, but you know what I
mean. we need a it just
like I mean mind. Like if someone passes away, you can always say my condolences, but it's like we don't have something that's equal to thoughts and prayers, and like I'm thinking about you, I'm keeping you, in my thoughts and all that, but without
I've seen a lot of awkward ways of dealing with that, where there's like good vibes and things like that, and it always comes off kind of weird to me, because then you start getting into like these. And you'll see sometimes say things that I think go back to related to what karma actually is supposed to be like, and stuff like that. And whatever. I mean, look, if you want to, I think that it's complicated. But I
mean, even then, as somebody who's going through something like that, it's still kind of nice to get that, because it lets you know that other people at least care, as opposed to just being like, meh.
so that's the thing. There's a lot of times atheists will be like if someone says to me, and I hear it all the time being where I'm at, like, oh, I'll be praying for you, or something like that. Like 9 times out of 10, my response to that is, okay, thanks, and just go on, right? Because
I tend to be a little more competitive, but that's just
well, it depends on what I'm dealing with. If I'm talking, especially if I'm talking to someone who like I know is an apologist or whatever, and or someone who knows that I'm an atheist and says that, I'll say something like, why don't you, instead of wasting your time praying, why don't you make a donation to this thing, or why don't you go volunteer on a helpline somewhere, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
do something that actually makes a difference. I will, if it's somebody that's aware. Now, with the average believer here in my area, it just depends. If I'm in that kind of mood and feel like having that argument, maybe I will. But more often than not, it's just people will say it just as a sentiment rather than
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
meaning it. So
It,
it's weird for me. It's weird just because of where I'm at.
yeah.
Like, I guess
I
that's.
mean, yeah. It almost, and yes, more tangents, but whatever. But it almost reminds me of, because I say like, "Oh my God," or "I swear to God" all the time, and people are like, "You're an atheist. You can't say that." It's a fucking figure of speech, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's a figure of speech. Deal with it.
Well, now, like, if I would, like, if I hear somebody say, or they say bless you, like if I would sneeze and somebody says bless you, I'll say no
Yeah.
thanks. Like, I'll just say that like immediately, just as
Yeah.
it's more of a reaction than I don't really think about
Yeah.
that. It just depends on what I'm dealing with at the time, because it especially, okay, so whenever I was in the hospital after having heart surgery, I got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that would message me and say, hey, we're going to put you on this prayer list and all this other stuff, and we're going to actively tell people to pray for you and things. And I was like, um yeah,
Please don't.
I don't think that's a good idea. Like, uh I don't like anybody actually, like, as a sentiment, whatever, but like, if you actually mean somebody's going to take time out of their day to do that, please do something useful rather than
Yeah.
something stupid. All right.
You want to hear the one
When
of the
someone
stupidest
sneezes, I
things?
say, ooh, gross.
You want to hear one of the stupidest sentiments with that I've heard?
What?
So, and this actually pissed me off and caused some issues with my family. So, my people who know me know my dad died fairly unexpectedly in 2020. Died of COVID. Um, and it was so sudden and stuff. We were having issues trying to get the funeral paid for, and so we had asked, because we'd had family and stuff say, like, how can we help, and we're like, we're trying to get this funeral paid for and all this stuff. Somebody in my family who is very close to my dad, in lieu of helping us pay for the funeral, you know what they did? They sent 5,000 Bibles to China. I have not spoken to them since, and I will never speak to them again.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's batshit
Literally, the
crazy
money they
stuff.
spent for that would have covered his entire funeral, because it was just like, it was a
Yeah.
memorial service and a cremation. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, it
That's a
was like
dick
two
move.
grand and it was done.
That was to be a dick, is what that was about. Uh, Objective ethics. I made a video debunking prayer called "Christians Want Children to Suffer." I think
Yes.
that prayer is blasphemous. Honestly, I think that prayer is not something that they should even be doing. And the take that I've heard and that I kind of agree with is that, um, so you're talking about an all-knowing God, who already has a plan, and they go on and on and on about, what? Oh, I didn't know. It didn't show me that it was a super chat. It just popped up on screen and said that message, and I was like, did I just get spam in the middle of streaming? Um, the I'll read it in a second. But oh hell, let's go ahead and read it. I forgot what I was saying anyway. Oh, it's about prayer. You may have a high enough in W. What is INTWIS? What is that? Denial software insurance is denial software malfunction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I
That
don't
way
know
they
what.
can't deny him.
What is INTWIS? What is that? Anyway, it's a $5 super chat from Jester. I'm just curious because
I'm tired. I can't think right now.
yeah, I would think I would know what that meant, but INTWIS integrated. I don't know. Somebody tell me in chat. Thank you, Jester, for the $5 super chat.
Intelligence and wisdom. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's character limits on super chats, so.
Yeah. No, I understand. Thanks, Jester, for the $5 super
By the
chat.
way, if Kip is lurking, treats for Dagon. He likes to lurk occasionally.
What now?
I always have to tell Kip that he has to give treats to Dagon. So he gives
because
treats.
you said Kip.
He literally got a treat jar because I kept telling him to give treats to Dagon, so he got a treat jar.
Oh, I see.
And I'm making him a treat jar.
We'll see when you name your dog after the other one, and then you start saying treats to the chat. I think you're confusing your dog with the person. Is what I thought was going on.
My dog already got her treats for the day and actually stole both of her sister's treats, so she gets no more treats for today.
Yeah. So, we got Totten coming. What's up, Totten? Good to see you. When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love. Oh, it scrolled on me. Go back. For they love to pray standing on the synagogues and on the street corners and seen by others. Yeah. Go into your room and the Father. Yep. All that stuff. So here's the thing that I have to say about prayer. The all-knowing God. Christians want to go on about God's will and God's plan and God working in mysterious ways and all that bullshit, right? And this all-knowing being that supposedly has agency, I guess, which I think is a contradiction. If you're praying, asking God for anything, which I know is not supposed to be the biblical version of prayer, like, but that's not how it's practiced anyway. Like, if I go in and I say, God, I really want you to take care of this person, or let this person be healthy or whatever, you're essentially asking God, if your plan is different than mine, I want you to change it. And it's just, I think it's just a reflection of human hubris coming through in their projection of a God. Like, I mean, gods are obviously, let's go back to the in the beginning. So man, it says man's created in God's image. Obviously, it's a projection thing, right? God is created in man's image, and so we've taken all of our faults and things, and we've imagined a supernatural being who doesn't have those faults and explains away the things that we don't understand about the world around us. And so I just think that prayer is one of those crazy things where it's like, not only is it like silly and stupid whenever you conceive the absurdity of these things, but it's also not consistent with what your religion teaches anyway. Like, it's not, you're just doing a thing that's more culturally acceptable than biblically acceptable. Yeah.
Hey, Amber, what's up?
Good to see you, Amber.
Hey, yeah, she's over in my chat.
I notice every week we get a bump at about the hour mark. So I don't know what goes. Yeah, I don't know what stream ends halfway through this show, but I guess I'm glad it does.
No trolls today though. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, our right wing.
I know one of them got timed out for the day. I know the other one got hidden on your channel, but I was sitting there trying to say, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up on my channel.
Yeah. now, to my knowledge, we haven't banned anyone. I don't think. Um,
Joseph got banned last time. He got
oh, did
transphobic. He got
oh
transphobic.
did he? I must have. I didn't even see it. Uh,
Yeah.
that's how good my mods are. They're on it.
Oh, Aunt Jer was on it. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, I was about to do it. Like, I had my finger on the button, and she was just like, bam.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. The
She's like super mod. Aunt Jer, you're fantastic. We love you to pieces. You're awesome.
yeah. We yeah, well, I mean, I tell them all the time, like, hey, if you're in chat, like, I'm not always able to pay attention to it, and I would rather you go ahead and take an action, and if it has to be undone or talk about it later, let's do that. I would rather you go ahead and do it, and then if something needs changed, then we'll change it. But like, I support them doing whatever it is they need to do to keep things, at a certain level. You can come here and disagree. You can even come here and call me names and whatever. But whenever you start just like being generally hurtful to people, or like you're just disruptive for the sake of being disruptive, like that's a different thing.
I mean,
And there's people like that I have, like, I've been like, hey, I was having a good back and forth with that person, but they just take it to a place to where I can no longer.
the joke
Yeah.
with me, the joke with me for like 9 years now is that on a daily basis I deal, actually longer than that, like 14 years since I've been working with secular talk, and also doing my history thing, is I on a daily basis I deal with the worst people in the world: internet trolls and Nazis.
Yeah. 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 I feel you. So, real quick, while I've got objective ethics in the room, and while we've got a few people here, let's talk about the just. I'm gonna be plugging this a lot, folks, and I'm sorry if you get tired of hearing it, but the ARC protest is gonna be July 12th in Williamstown, Kentucky. We would love to see you guys there. Would love to
I'll be
have.
there.
Yeah, Lil will be there. Seth will be there. Seth Andrews will be there. We've confirmed all that. Godless Engineer, Godless Granny, Noah, Legends from Scathing Atheist. Uh, and we've got some others we're working on too. JL Warren is here, but he probably won't be there. But JL, we'd love to have you there. So yeah, if you can make it to Williamstown, Kentucky, would love to see you guys the second weekend of July. It's gonna be all weekend long doing stuff. I think Seth Andrews is also gonna have an event with some of his people. Probably, I'm guessing Forrest and Gutsick Gibbon. And that will be over the weekend in a different place. I'm not for sure on who's speaking at that, so don't quote me on they will be there. I'm just guessing that because that's usually who he does those events with. Um, there'll be a game night thing over at Chrissy and Jim Hilton's house from Tri-State Freethinkers. There will be the art protest, which will be bigger and better than ever. We've got illusions, no illusions. Okay, I get it right. I'm glad somebody finally told me that, because I have wondered about the pronunciation of that for a long time. Thank you, Andrew, for fixing that. The what? Hold on, let me look. Yeah.
Because we haven't mentioned it yet, so I didn't know.
No, that's only because I hadn't. I've been working on some of the planning on that in the background. But yeah, we can mention it. We're going to. Or you go ahead. Go ahead. You can.
Yeah, we are going to do a Politicality live. So you're definitely going to want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Titan. To be fair, my vocabulary is limited. I'm from Kentucky. We have a lot of y'alls and yuns and ets and tricks and
Okay.
lots and
Yeah.
bubs
Like,
and things.
I am definitely, I am college educated, and some people would say I am over educated if you know my education background. I was 35 before I realized facade and facade were the same damn word.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Potato
it
potato
happens.
thing. Uh, you know, like, so for my area, I speak better than your average Ashland, Kentucky redneck, I guess. But the still, I suffer from a lot of uh, the letter I gets me a lot, and it comes out as I. So so instead of pie, we have pie, and instead of die, you die, and
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of draw in the vowels. That's what I see,
Yeah,
and
I'm Texan, and if I am tired, it will be, I'll end up saying, I'll end up saying far instead of fire.
so
Or
have you
tar.
heard have you heard sometimes English speaking people, uh, UK English, right? Whenever
Mm-hmm.
they pronounce an A sound, it'll have almost an AR sound in some
Sometimes, yeah.
words. So Kentucky actually, the redneck hillbilly dialect is kind of similar to some ancient form, not ancient, but older forms of of English, and
Mm-hmm.
so words like warsh. Now I don't use the AR sound, but a lot of people here do. Um, and instead of tired, people would be tarred, and
Tar.
instead of wash, wash, and in any a, especially that ash is an arsh sound instead of an but I don't do that, and a lot of people do, and I hear it,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't like trip anything for me. The ones that get me around here are whenever they say so some of the like crick is one instead of creek, and
Yeah.
that's a weird one. And instead of eat, they say et, and instead of like light bulb, it's a light bulb, and those kind of things I think are strange. And you can tell somebody, like, instead of go over there and sit down, you say go yonder, and won't you go light yonder? Like
Yeah.
things, and you
Yeah.
start getting
I
into
say
words that are
y'all.
not even. I say y'all, and not. I kind of, you get a mix of it with me because I'll say some things
Mm-hmm.
very, very um, in that dialect, and then sometimes I'll speak a little better, but it'll still have that Kentucky drawl in it too. But whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sensitive to all the variations. My dad says warsh and winders and taters and
Taters. I say
yeah,
taters.
I don't. I have a weird thing with the word potato. I don't like the way that it's
Potato.
Maryland has some. In Maryland, they say leave the dog out when the dog is inside. That's a weird one. He says trick too. My brother and I used to make fun of him saying
it.
get at
It's.
but oh
I saw somebody reading something. They were reading a quote from a Texan, and I want to say it was somebody. It was somebody in the community. They were reading a quote from a Texan, and they kept saying "fixing," like with the G on the end. And I was like,
hmm.
"It's Texan. It's fixin'. There is no
Yeah, right.
fixin'."
Yeah, the G is optional. And it depends on
It's
who I'm talking to.
silent.
So if I'm on here talking, I'm talking to you guys. But if I'm talking to someone here, I'm talking to y'all. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on who it is I'm speaking to, because I try really to. I have this weird thing too. When I was in college, I had to do this speech at a conference about the. At the time, it was 2008, so this was before any of this had really went mainstream. But
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the future of using um, motion sensors in home automation for what would eventually become smart homes, and
Yeah.
the different things that you could automate and the different technologies you could combine with motion sensors to automate different parts of life, and
Yeah.
and how to some of the coding and stuff that related to that. So it's a technology conference, obviously. It was boring stuff, but I gave a big speech on that. And before I went and gave the speech, my the computer science engineering program, the one of the head advisors of it was like, "Hey Joe, we need to have a little talk with you before the conference gets here and stuff." And I was like, "Okay." And they made me like go do like some extra classes with the public speaking teacher to work on my pronunciation uh, of certain words. And being that was the first time that I was really made aware that I was doing some of the things that I do when I speak. So it that's why you get like there'll be a combination of things where I'll be very, very country to where you don't even understand what I'm talking about sometimes, but speak completely differently other times. Um, that's the story behind it. Anyway, let's go way back to where we left off. Of we're going to do Politicality live from the art protest. The one of the big reasons for the art protest is to speak out against not only the indoctrination and the damage and harm and things that AIG and the art protest does to children, but we have a huge separation of church and state issue with it as well, where it's being subsidized by Kentucky taxpayers. And so we do these things to shed light on all of that and to actually go and be there at the place they're at, speaking out against them, showing them that there are people that oppose them, and showing a community that may not know about this that it's there. It's one of the as much as everybody loves to go to all these conferences and stuff. Um, and I'm not speaking bad about the conferences. They're great. They do a lot of good work and help a lot of people in a lot of ways. For me, though, this is one of the just most important events where that doesn't really get the attention that these other things get, and it's free. Like, you don't even have to pay to come to it. We ask for donations to be able to cover the lodging and stuff for people, especially our speakers. But we like over a dozen people we put up last year, and was able to help people with a number of different things getting there and being there and all that stuff. um, the event's free though. Like, you don't have to. You just have to be in Williamstown. That's it. Um, the so anyway,
I just
we
realized
have
I was muted. Sorry.
oh, I didn't even know you were trying to talk. We have a link that's scrolling through chat if you wanna donate to the protest or whatever. As of right now, if you want to, let me explain real quick, because I'm getting ready to have a meeting about this here in about an hour. But if you want to donate to the protest, what you're donating to is for us to help people be there, right? Like,
Mm.
to there's a lot of expenses and things associated with it, but at the moment, let me be clear, you're donating for me to help uh, get people there and get the things that I want to happen. It's I'm not speaking on behalf of any other organization other than myself at the moment. Until we, you know, get some other things organized and stuff. Later today, that may be different, but for now, if you're donating, you're helping this happen. Okay, so just to be clear, um, the no one endorses the donations other than me. So there's that, and the money is going to no one else other than me at the moment. Uh,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's to help pay for stuff and people and
yeah,
to
look,
make it more fun.
I don't want to put in. I'm not putting anybody else's name on it because there's nonprofits and stuff involved, and technically, the Tri-State Freethinkers are, as of right now, at least, I know that they are funding at least some part of a couple of things. Like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
to my knowledge, they need the funding, but I can't speak. I can't raise funds for a nonprofit here. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it'll be like essentially it'll be like last year. What I'm raising money for is to get people there, to pay for lodging for people and speakers, because I did invite some of the speakers, and will pay for the lodging and stuff. I'm not speaking on behalf of Tri-State Freethinkers, of Black Non-Believers, of Recovering from Religion, or any other group that'll be there. I'm not speaking on their behalf. That's what I'm saying. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but we still need the money, so donate. You know, last show I said that I'd be checking it to see who donated, and I wanted everybody to donate $1. We got a grand total of $0 that day. So you know, you guys don't have a high bar to beat today if you want to donate to the art protest. Um, you know, I understand things are expensive right now and things are tough for everybody and stuff. So I do not want anybody to put themselves out doing anything to do with it. I mean, please don't. But I mean, uh, if you're out there donating to causes, I may not be the best person speaking to represent it or whatever, but the cause is there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the art protest is really important, and it's completely crowdfunded because we don't. It is free, um, and I would hate to see it end. If yeah, I won't get into all that, but like the it needs to continue, folks, and it has to have the support of multiple communities in order to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
if the atheist community doesn't want to support it, then we can't do it. I mean, that's just how it is. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, it's a completely democratic thing. You guys, you know, whatever, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
Whatever.
but yeah, this year's going to be really awesome. It's the 10th anniversary of the opening of the thing, and they didn't have an art protest for like a year because of the pandemic and stuff. So there's like there's a gap. Well, it was actually 2 years, but um, there's a gap there, and where they didn't do it every single year. But why did that just do that? Oh,
Because I'm messing with it.
yeah. I was like, you disappeared, and all I see is a Texas symbol.
Well, I've had so many people ask me if I'm from Kentucky. I'm like, no, I'm not from Kentucky. I'm from Texas.
Just tell him you are.
Like Texas isn't any better, but Texas. So, gotta represent my Longhorns.
Um, the I do want to say I think we've got so I told you guys the speakers. There's some others that are in like I've messaged and stuff. Other people that want to be there, like very big people, but I can't say those things until I know something for sure. So stay tuned for information about that. If you're not on my Discord, join my Discord. It's in chat also. And all right, that's all I
Yep.
got for that crap.
Yep.
The
I think um the other big political thing is the partial shutdown that's been going on. There is still no funding for ICE or Border Patrol, but apparently they did vote to try and fund like TSA and the Coast Guard, but apparently that got shot down too. So,
yeah. I want to read this chat real quick, going backwards. I'd like to see more coalition building against the ARC. It isn't just religion, it's anti-science, it's political engineering, and it's against civil rights for a lot of groups. To be clear, so the ARC encounter, AIG requires all of its employees to sign what they call a statement of faith. And you don't work there if you're not a Christian. And you can't be a member of the LGBTQ community. And we actually had one of the local police officers, and this is like I think one of the most telling stories of last year's ARC encounter. One of the local cops, well, the cops were called on us actually by I'm guessing Joseph and Ken Hoven and them, because they were butthurt about not being there or whatever. But this cop shows up and he's like, yeah, I used to work there, and they there was an LGBTQ group that came to the ARC encounter, which I think is, you know, there's obviously there's groups of LGBTQ Christians and just people who are curious about this giant boat in Kentucky that they want to go see what's going on there. And so the group, the people that he was working with who did like tours and stuff there, they were being like really shitty to this group and saying some really like homophobic things. And he said, "Hey guys, look, like I get it, like you know, you don't support LGBTQ people and like whatever, but like, you know, those are people, and you're being really shitty, to those people." He was referred to HR and fired for that.
nice.
Yeah. So, and he became a local cop and came down there and talked with us and supported us and told us how much he supported what we were doing down there. And that's why this really needs to continue to happen, is because it's not just about AIG and the art indoctrinating children and that stuff. That's of paramount importance, don't get me wrong. But it's all the things that go with it, all the harm that they're doing, not just to Kentucky taxpayers, not just to children, not just to the LGBTQ community, not just the science denial. It's all of that stuff. And what they're doing is harmful to everybody. So that is why I ask people to donate to this event and to help it continue. Not just because we want to go argue with creationists. It's not about that. It's about a lot of things, and they're all very important. So please click the link that's going through chat if you want to help out. If not, and again, don't put yourself out for it, but if you can, $1 works. Like, send us $1. Those add up. Those pay for things like bottles of water and ice and food, and we have to get a lot of people out of the Kentucky sun. There's a lot of little things, that sunscreen, first aid stuff, like there's a lot of stuff that it goes to. So if you can only donate $1, donate $1. It's cool. All right. Back to the other direction now. Sorry, but that comment just hit me sideways there, and I was like, I really need to explain what it is.
I will say, with Answers in Genesis, trolling them on Facebook is so much fun.
I don't have a problem with the ark as long as those people stay on the ark. Well, they don't. Okay, they don't.
They don't. That's the
Uh,
problem.
yeah. Eric Wonder celebrates 12 months of membership. Hey, thanks for being a
Woohoo!
member for 12 months. Good to see you too. Eric Wonder just became a sponsor, which is I think that's just in reference to that super chat thing, because I think that's how it deals that. We could install glue traps on the arc floor. Yeah. that's actually one of the better plans I've heard. The I wonder with all this rain if they got flooded again there, because they've had to file insurance claims for flooding at the place. The heat and global warming concerns. We'll be talking about climate science as well. I know that many fundamentalists deny climate science, like a lot of science. I you know I think specifically that's an excellent topic to bring up and talk about. Um, I never really think much about in relation to fundamentalists. I never really think about having that conversation, but
Yeah.
I have had people here, fundamentalists here locally, tell me that it doesn't matter how much we pollute because Jesus is going to come back and destroy the earth
Yeah.
anyway. So, I mean, I think it is, and I've mentioned that a few times in the past whenever I've interacted with creationists and things. But it's not a topic that I go into a lot with them, and probably should a bit more because I think there's valid points to be made there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. It's one of those things that whenever I'm talking to Christians or creationists or MAGA or whoever, it's kind of a matter of priorities. Like it's like with anything, it's a matter of priorities. Like, what are your main priorities? Because if you're not going to be able to talk to them about how the Earth is not 6,000 years old, they are not going to give a shit about climate change. So you might as
Yeah,
well at least try to talk to them about something that you might be able to change their mind on. But I will say this: I have changed several, not MAGA, but MAGA adjacent people's views on climate change here, because even in my lifetime, like, the climate here has changed dramatically.
yeah,
So it's just it's wild seeing it change as fast as it is.
yeah,
I mean, we can see it change from year to year almost. It's crazy.
yeah. I think it's an interesting because very few conversations with fundamentalists are anything that hasn't been discussed a million times. So I think it's an interesting angle to maybe try and have a different kind of conversation. But yeah, I agree with Lil overall. I think that I think that we rarely make it to that because we can't agree on the more simple terms of reality to begin with to even get there. Uh, it's I think it's not that it's not more important than some of those other things, but it's having those conversations. It's tough to get them to a spot to where we can even agree that we're experiencing the a shared reality. So but I think that it's an excellent topic, an important topic, and should be brought up more. I'll leave that up to you, Objective Ethics, to make it happen. Uh, I rarely
Um,
interact with theists these days.
One thing that I was just actually reminded of on the war in Iran, and I know I'm kind of jumping around, but whatever. Um, is that apparently one of our aircraft carriers either nearly got hit or got hit. That was not public knowledge, and the president just said it.
Oh yeah, I seen that earlier.
Yeah, that wasn't public knowledge. And keep in mind, this is one problem with. I also saw someone make this point on um, the White House and the Pentagon because there was a reporter that asked Caroline Levitt a question about how many soldiers were injured and killed and all this. She's like, well, I don't know. You're going to have to ask the Pentagon. Keep in mind that the Pentagon has almost no actual reporters there anymore because they essentially said if you have to report essentially what we tell you to or what we say is okay to report, which is just straight up propaganda. And every major news organization, including Fox News, walked out and it's like, fine, we're done. We'll cover you from outside the Pentagon. And basically gave all their desks to, like, MAGA influencers. Laura Loomer has a desk there. Like, what?
Didn't the didn't the didn't the courts decide they couldn't do that?
Possibly, but there's been so many court cases, like, I can't. As far as I
I
know, they're
think
still not back in the Pentagon.
so. I think a federal judge ruled, and I believe it was a Trump appointed federal judge, ruled that they weren't allowed, that, how did they put that? That kind of stuff was of such importance to the public that they weren't allowed to then tell them, like, to be filtering it that way. And they weren't allowed to tell them they couldn't cover it.
Yeah.
The way that they wanted. If they were going to do press conferences, they had to make it to where that people could cover it in whatever way they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm super on top of politics, but there's been so many court cases and stuff
Oh,
that
sure. There's been like
that
160 now.
yeah, I can't. I can keep up with 95% of it. That one fell in the 5% that I do not recall specifically. I want to say that there is a court case, but I'm not sure that was ruled on.
I think that's what the federal judge said about it, but I would, yeah, I'm not going to quote anything, but I'm almost certain that there was a case. Aircraft carrier don't typically catch on fire on their own. Yeah.
No, they don't.
Neither do oil refineries, but we've seen a lot of that in the United States here recently, in multiple places, instead of a few times down there in Texas, which I think is incredibly odd. Trump threatens energy resources of Iran, and all of a sudden, oil refineries start bursting into flames here. But whatever, that might be a little conspiracy theorist type stuff, I guess. There was also so I seen one of the left wing channels, politics channels, covering how they there's some questions about Jeffrey Epstein and the reports that the officers gave 2 years after the fact. They were there's some problems with the way that was done by Bill Barr and how it was drafted the day before he even died, and ended up being in the early morning hours and not that night, and just all kinds of odd things about that. And so yeah, I didn't really. I don't know. I don't know what to cover whenever on stuff like that, so
yeah,
I kind of avoid it.
Yeah, and I mean, this has been kind of a weird week that there's been some news, but it's all been in relation to stuff that's already been in the news. Like, usually when Trump's numbers are this bad, they try to come with some new controversy. Like, the only thing that's been, like, huge was obviously the No Kings protest. The one thing, and I will say this simply because I'm going to plug the hell out of my show with Seth on Candle in the Chaos, is Hegseth did a prayer service this past week, and holy shit. Like, you want to talk
Huh.
about Christian nationalists to the core.
Yeah. It's weird watching them incorporate hate into like prayer services. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they got sued over
Well,
those too. Well, Trump
yeah.
did over his monthly prayer meeting thing by the
Yeah.
FRFF has filed a lawsuit against him to try and
Good.
stop that from happening. The
I mean, it. I personally, like, I don't agree that the government should be doing anything like that. But like the way how it was always handled when I was in my 1 year of public school is it was always off school hours, and it could not be organized by anybody within the school. So it couldn't be organized by like a teacher or a teacher's aide. Like, it had to be organized by the students. Um,
yeah.
that I don't have that big of an issue with. What I do have an issue with is in
Mm,
like praying before football games and crap like that. I had a major issue with my son's graduation because they gave a prayer at my son's graduation, and I'm like, this is a public school, dude. Like, what the hell are you doing? And I completely understand. I was probably one of the only two atheists in the entire thing, but still, it's like,
so
no, you can't do this kind of crap.
I played football in high school, and
Mm-hmm.
before and after every practice, every game,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Even if we went to some event, it
Yeah.
was come take a knee, boys, and prayer. And we all had to take
Yeah.
part in saying the Lord's Prayer.
And
Uh,
the yeah, and they did that. They did it at my baccalaureate, which is like before you graduate. But their reasoning was, and their reasoning for even doing it at my graduation, which was in 2002, is because it wasn't mandatory. Because we did not have to go. Tell me
yeah.
what high school student is not going to go to their damn graduation.
Also, like, I that's a bullshit reason.
Yeah, it is.
Even when it comes to that, it is, and when it comes to the sports thing, it is, because I
Mm-hmm.
get like, whenever they say at the end of practice, they say, "All right, boys, gather around, take a knee." It's not come join this conversation if you want, or go, or you're done. No, it's come here and we're going to talk about the things you did right and wrong and all that stuff, and then it's all right. Well, let's say the prayer and let's get out here, and that you have to do that before you can leave. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's not optional in any way.
No.
Now it may be optional for you to actually say the words. I'm not sure. I don't know that anybody was ever singled out for that. But if you sat there while they were
I
saying it
was.
and just looked at the coach and didn't
Mm-hmm.
and weren't even attempting to say the words, I imagine you would have been called out for it. But
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
uh, because we were told like this is the prayer we're going to say every day. We're going to say you know these words, and it just wasn't optional. It wasn't a thing, and it's
Yeah.
uh, and they did that at my graduation too. Now back to the other thing you said about like the school can do it if it's led by students and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
don't agree. I think that they
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I don't.
They I had death threats and shit made towards me
Yeah.
in school by the little motherfucker that was supposed to be doing that shit, which is a whole video we talked about
Yeah.
earlier on
That's
this
that's the
channel.
way how they got. That's the way they got around it, though. Like, they had the rule at school was like you had to have a staff sponsor to like have
Yeah,
like an official club. Um,
yeah,
the Gay Straight Alliance got shut down um,
hmm,
because the staff member who did it got harassed so much that they're like, I can't do this because they're threatening my family, and it's like, what the, and this was like a fairly big school in like the wider Dallas area, so it was like, okay, what the hell. um there were also like other, like, obviously they had like the Christian organization and Christian clubs and stuff, and we had a fairly large population of people who were of various other religions that tried to start theirs, and they couldn't find anybody to do it. And it was just like,
Yeah.
why? Like, I mean, I am of the opinion that they need to leave it completely the fuck out of school.
Yeah.
It needs to be secular. Like, I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck if you're religious on your own time, but it needs to be secular, dude. And no pandas and no books of pandas and people. Holy shit.
But no, that they don't do that anymore. Not at least as it was then. That
They did
motherfucker
at
was
my high
outlawed.
school. Jeez.
No, I mean, it was outlawed around that time.
Yeah.
The at least in that form.
Yeah. Well, I went to private school, so.
Oh yeah, well that's different. I forgot. You just said that too. I forgot. Yeah. Eh, there's so many, especially in like Bible Belt areas, down in Texas, here, down in the South. Like, there's just so many concentrated Christians in those places that they think that it gives them. Oh, hey, there's a bunch of us, and we're all Jesus freaks, so we should get to do all the Jesus freak things and make everybody take part in it. And there are groups and individuals, for that matter, that are trying to speak up and let them know that, hey, no, that's not okay. You have the idiots online who still try to argue that the United States is founded on Christianity and Jesus and.
By the way, if you want yet another plug, if you want a really good dive into that and showing that that's not true, check out the first episode of Candle in the Chaos and on Ambush Bosse's channel.
Yeah.
We cover that. We're covering basically Christian nationalist in all its forms. So it does make a good compliment to this show too. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. If I would like to be able to each week when you do that, and I know it's tough because you have like to record and edit and all those things, but
we're trying to put one out every other week.
Even if you just pulled like a 30-second, 20-second clip of like, this is what the show, something that's on topic for the show of that week, that we could show here each week to plug and promote. I think that would be helpful for you guys. You obviously don't have to do any of that, but you're welcome to do it here. I'm saying, like, I'm always all for promoting other people's stuff.
Speaking of promoting other people's stuff.
In 2024, NASA researcher Rachel Lenz gave the world a flag made from NASA images for Pride Month. On January 20th, 2025, the incoming U.S. administration ordered that Artistic Union of Science and Civil Rights deleted. So I tracked down the original images it was made from, recreated it, and then added even more wonders of the cosmos to update the flag to the current, more inclusive form. On the anniversary of the inauguration, I released it. And it went viral several times. Now you can get a physical copy of that artwork as a full-sized flag or a large sticker, as well as space artworks of the other Pride flags: lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, ace, and new flags being added all the time. Get one for yourself or give them as gifts and celebrate Pride, celebrate science, celebrate resistance, and help support a creator fighting for human rights for all humans. Head to astralpride.com. and use code LIL at checkout for an exclusive offer. In 2024.
You're muted. You are muted.
I don't know why I played that twice, but my code will get you $1 off stickers if you use TKA for Joe. It gives you a discount on the flags.
Did it play twice? I didn't see it play twice.
It started to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to turn off the whenever on the video in the bottom right, it's got a little loop thing. You got, for some reason by default it leaves it on. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah.
Watching with Deviant while being comfy in bed. What's up, Sue? What's up, Deviant? Thanks for watching.
Hi, Deviant.
We're getting ready to wrap things up. I've got to.
This has been like the most random show we've done.
I like it.
It's fun though. This is Sunday. It's supposed to be a fun day.
So look,
Sunday,
I've been purposely trying to lean back into like the atheist side of things a bit, because I've been real, and I've said this a couple times, but I've just been really kind of like disconnected with that whole part of what I do, I guess. And with the art protests coming up and stuff, I'm again back to that being important. So I'm kind of, my mind is kind of thinking that way. So I'm viewing things kind of like that. And we're gonna start on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Jess will be back here with me. We're gonna start doing the Spoiled Ham show again, but we're gonna do it a little bit different. So that'll be every Tuesday at 2 p.m. We'll do that, along with Thursday and Sunday at 1 p.m. for Politicality, and Politicality live from the art protest in July. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be a good time. And what we'll do with that show, I imagine, is we'll do our show talking about the things we need to talk about, but we'll have people that are there join us throughout. Like, we'll try to get the speakers to stop by and say hi, and get get a lot of the people there everybody knows and stuff to come say hi. Maybe some of the people who represent some of these orgs and things to come say a few words. Like, it'll be a thing. It'll be good. Because we'll be doing not only that, but I have to also have, for other reasons, I'm going to have somebody else do a recording of the event itself as a standalone thing. So there'll be a lot of cameras and things going on at this one. GE's going to set up his own tent and do some stuff. I don't know what they have planned. I just know that they asked about if they could set up their own space with some things and whatever. And I said, yeah, go for it. So anyway,
sounds like a plan.
All those shows are good. Candle in the Chaos on Seth's channel and Lil's channel. Obviously, if you're here, you need to be going over to Lil's channel, Lil of All Trades, and subscribing. It'll pop up in chat here in just a second. I hear the clickety clack. If
I could spell my name right, that would be better.
Well, at least you tried. We'll give you a participation ribbon. Yeah, and if you're over there, come over here and subscribe. And definitely all my friends out there, Ember and Seth, and we seen Objective Ethics earlier, and all those other channels. Definitely go support other people in the community, and if you're not subscribed, check out the stuff they're doing, because that's what you need to be doing, I think. Seems like a good idea to me. You got anything else, Lil, before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Bye.
See you guys Thursday. Bye.